Om Agyanatimirandasya Gyananjanan Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Narayanam Gurum Vande Sharaniyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauravanubhishtam Purnam Radhadasyam Pradayakam Rupanugacharya Varyamburupa Manjari Prishtakam Patita Pavana Karuniyam Yugacharya Narayanam Chakalpatarubhyas Chakripa Sindhu Vyaivacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvise Namaha Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismera Hasara Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vrindai Tulasi Devi Ai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances with the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradhatama Shri Guru Pada Padma Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Shtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev. E a todos os nossos, and to all our acharyas from past, present and future, and to all the assembled guests here today, my respectful obeisances. So, by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva, we are able to assemble here one more time. So today, we are going to learn a little bit about the different types of ignorances and what ignorance means. So in this first slide, we have true enlightenment only occurs after drinking the nectar of the immaculate divine wisdom revealed in the Vedas. Ignorance about who God is, about who we are, and about the nature of the material world are the main causes of existential suffering. So, when we talk about enlightenment, we are talking about shedding light upon something, right? So, it means that enlightenment is not the light itself, but is the object which is being illuminated by that light. And according to the Vedas, enlightenment, it is not happening in one event at once, at one time. It is actually a very progressive process. Just like the sun does not rise at once, it rises gradually. The light appears gradually. In the same way, enlightenment also will manifest gradually. Why? Because the level of light, the level of spiritual light that we can receive, it is proportional to the amount of dust that we remove from from the window of our soul. Our soul right now is covered by so many things that are unnecessary for our spiritual life that we call anarthas. And ignorance is one type of anartha. Okay? So, this true enlightenment can only occurs when we drink the nectar of the immaculate divine wisdom revealed in the Vedas. It's good to notice that all the time we look for pure things. We look how to find pure water, pure food, pure medicine, pure um, cosmetics, pure um, knowledge, whatever. We are always searching to have the best quality of everything that we use. So, in this way, uh, the Vedic knowledge, it is considered to be immaculate. Immaculate means spotless. There are no trace of impurity in the Vedic knowledge. Even when uh, the Vedic knowledge appears to be contradictory in itself, it is not a contradiction. It is not a uh, a fault. It is actually the different levels of teachings according to rajas, sattva, and tamas, the modes of material nature. Because Vedas speak to all types of people. So the instructions cannot be the same to everyone, right? So in this way, all knowledge revealed in the Vedas are immaculate, are spotless. And this is the divine wisdom because it was revealed by God Himself, by Krishna Himself. So this true enlightenment will happen when we drink this nectar. Why this knowledge is compared to nectar? Because nectar gives us what? Immortality, right? That is what nectar is meant for, immortality. But we know that this material body is perishable. So how can we be immortal in this body? Not possible. Even when the demigods they drink the somarasa, the 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 nectar called somarasa, they want to be immortal, but they cannot be immortal. They can just uh, extend their lifespan for some more years, but immortal no one is in this material world. But the soul is immortal. So here, this drinking this nectar means it's not that we are going to make this material body immortal, but we are going to access our immortal body. That is our soul. Our soul has a body, right? Our soul has a body, but in the spiritual realm, there is no difference between body and consciousness and soul. Everything is one thing. Different than what we have now. Now, you have your body, your physical body, your gross body. You have your subtle body, which is your mind, intelligence, and false ego. You have the consciousness, which is coming from the soul. We have so many different things to combine together and make this entity, this living entity. But the soul, it is an absolute spiritual being whose body is not different from itself. So there is no point to say the body of the soul. The soul is already body and consciousness at the same time, right? So then, because now our consciousness is covered, we have many different types of ignorances about who God is, about who we are, and what is the nature of this material world. Means what is prakriti, what is matter, and these are the main causes of our existential suffering. So we suffer, existentially speaking, and so many people they even commit suicide. They cannot tolerate living in this world because they find no meaning. They are nihilistic people. They think like uh, there is nothing beyond the transitions of matter, and there's nothing beyond anything. So what is the use of keeping yourself alive, right? Many people think like this. And even the famous philosopher Nietzsche, Nietzsche, he declared that I cannot believe in a God that cannot dance, right? So what does it mean? It means that he was influenced by the Christian God, right? By the God of the Bible, and that God is not dancing at all. That God is very, what to say, uh, very very cruel many times, very very heavy person, very, um, what to say. I don't find the proper English word. Um, anyway, he's not dancing for sure. He's not happy. He's not celebrating. He's not, uh, inspiring everyone uh, to be always in bliss, right? But unfortunately, Nietzsche was not able to know about Krishna, know who Krishna was, because Krishna is the dancing God. Krishna is that God that dances. So if Nietzsche would know about Krishna, then definitely he would not end up his life in depression, in madness, uh, in hopelessness, completely um, missing the point, completely missing the point. So therefore, uh, we have to find the answer for who is God, who am I, and what is this material world. And those answers, they are our rights, our common human rights. These are the basic human rights, actually. To know who is God, what is your origin, what is this material world, who you are. This is this is basic. But who can answer these questions? Which scriptures can give you the clear picture of this um, scenario? If you go deeply in all the scriptures, like Bible, Torah, Quran, uh, Talmud, whatever, any scripture, even in the Buddhist scripture, Taoism, you cannot find answer for all these things. You can only find in the Vedas, and this is something that you can check for yourself. No need to believe me, actually, because this is something that a simple study can do, can reveal that to you. I used to say that I didn't choose to follow the Vedic culture because I found it, because I try to prove that it is good because I've chosen it. No, I've chosen it because after comparing and after studying, I only found truth in this one. This is a very simple thing that you can do. Just compare things. So, and the most important point, what is that? Which one of these scriptures revealed God? Beginning with this, who is the God of the Bible? Who is the God of the Quran? Who is the God of Torah? We don't know. He never came, he never introduced himself. Say, hello, I'm here. I am your creator. I am your all in all. I am the life of your soul. Therefore, you must know who I am. But no one came. No one came forward to claim. Some people say Moses heard something. Some people say somebody heard something. Muhammad heard something. But this is very uncertain, very unclear. Very unclear. Okay, for some people, this is good. This is what they can relate to. This is something that they can deal with, that will connect them with some divine reality. But for those who are having a little bit of more um, deep inquiry, it is not enough. But when you come to the Vedas, then Krishna is there, clearly say, I am God, I am here, and I have come. And he came. Not only him. You see, he's so merciful that he's not even coming himself once. He sends so many other representatives of him like avatars, one after the other. So to never let us, a long time deprived of his association. From the beginning of the creation, we have so many avatars that came to give association to the people, give shelter to the people, give um, relief from many burdens, give knowledge, give liberation also, give divine love, everything they gave. And the last one appeared just 500 years ago. For the cosmic time, this is so much. This is very long. This is very short time ago. For the cosmic time, 500 years is nothing. We are still feeling the wave of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance 500 years ago, right? So in this way, there is no point of suffering. And also, there is another aspect, which is the mystery that people like to um, explore a lot, the mystery of existence, the mystery of divinity. What mystery? Mystery means your ignorance. Mystery means that you don't know about that truth. So then you have to call it mystery because you don't know about it. But doesn't mean that that cannot be known. And many people know about it, and it's not mysterious for so many others, right? So those who are ignorant, those who have no knowledge, for them it's much easier to say, oh, everything is so mysterious, we cannot access all these things. Huh? And even some false gurus, they will come and they will claim that they know it, but they cannot tell. They have realized it, but they cannot share. Don't laugh, this is very serious. This is actually tragic. Because in name of spirituality, in name of enlightenment, people are being put under even more ignorance. You see, you come to a guru to be able to get higher knowledge, transcendental knowledge, and then he comes to you and say, I cannot tell you, I can't speak. That is non-translatable. You have to now find out by yourself. So go close your eyes and meditate for God knows how long. It may be happen, maybe not happen. But what will happen? I don't know, I cannot tell. Then what should I expect to happen? If even you cannot tell me what is going to happen, then if that happen, will I know that that's supposed to be happening or not? You see, it is so confusing. It is so confusing. Why? Because neither this guru or that people have actually been enlightened. Because once you know this truth, okay, now I can even go to another level, is that even before having the full realization of that truth of God, you can already know who He is. And that is why you can expect what to find. And that is why you are able to do your sadhana aiming that, right? So now we come to the definition of sadhana. Sadhana is not just any spiritual practice that you adopt in your life. Sadhana means when you have a clear goal to be achieved, and whatever practice you do is bringing you closer and closer to that very aim. Okay? So it is not that, oh, okay, I am chanting every day the Gayatri mantra. This is my sadhana. And what do you want to achieve? I don't know. Let me see what the mantra may give me then this is not sadhana. Understand? This is just some kriya, some activities, spiritual activities. So in this way, knowledge about the transcendental reality, it can be definitely shared, it can be informed, and it is already there in the Vedas. You just have to open and read by yourself. You read all the pastimes of Krishna, you read about Lord Ram, about Narayana, about Lord Nisringha. Everything is there. Now, what is missing is your direct relationship with them. And then that is why now you need to do a sadhana. Right? But there is nothing like uh, in the Vedas, like someone will come and tell you that, oh, I cannot tell you what is this absolute truth. You have to go and search for yourself. This is not Vedic. But be careful. Not everything that is Indian is Vedic. Be very careful. Many Indian people, many Indian things, many Indian gurus, they are not following the Vedas. But because their culture is that. So they dress like this, they speak in certain way, they use Sanskrit names. They sometimes even may steal one or two Vedic concepts just to make their philosophy more palatable, but doesn't mean that they are actually taking full shelter of the Vedas. And that is what makes the process very difficult, especially when you go without guidance to India. You can be like jiggle in the hands of so many cheaters. They will just play around because you have no base, you have no idea of what is going on. You have no idea how to separate what is Vedic, what is not Vedic, what is Indian, what is Hindu. So three things: Indian, Hindu, and Vedic. Vedic. Three different things, but they will, cross each other sometime. They will intercept each other sometime, and the um, unaware people, they get mistaken. Like for example, the Mayavadis, those who believe that they are God, right? They will also do bhakti. They will also go in front of the deity of Krishna and they worship it, and they use chant also the Mahamantra. And if you look and you say, oh, he's a Vaishnava, he's worshipping Krishna, but not. He's actually a Mayavadi. And he's actually only doing that worship because according to his philosophy, the Brahman, the impersonal aspect of God, becomes manifested in the form, in the divine form of Krishna, Rama, etc., just so that we can relate our senses to it. But his goal is not to serve Krishna. His goal is to merge in Krishna and achieve Brahman. So bhakti for him is just like a trampoline. Bhakti is not his goal, right? So there are so many subtle things that we need to become aware of. Okay? So now let us move to the next slide. Oops. Okay. So peace of mind, bliss, and divine ecstasy can only occur when we have cleansed the surface of the mirror of the consciousness called chitta. The closer we are to the light of Vedic knowledge, the less we will be influenced by the darkness of ignorance. So we are all searching for peace of mind, bliss, divine ecstasy. We want to disconnect from this body. We want to disconnect from this personality that we are being now. And we want to, like a bird in the cage, we want to get out of that and be able to have the full experience of the divine reality. Everyone is expecting that. But as I mentioned previously, that will happen gradually. The more you clean the surface of the consciousness of the chitta, the more you'll be able to see the light coming. And when it's fully clean, then there is fully light. Then there is full enlightenment. So the closer we are to the light of Vedic knowledge, the less we will be influenced by the darkness of ignorance. So now I'm going to show you what are the different types of ignorances. So there are 5 types of ignorance called avidya. Avidya means ignorance. Vidya means knowledge, and avidya means no knowledge, means ignorance. Well, 3, 4, 5. Where's the 1? The 1 is missing. Oh, jump to the 2. Give me 1 second. I'm going to find out what happened. One second, I will stop this presentation. Maybe I did not download it properly. Okay, I found it. I'm sorry for that. Yeah, now you can see the number 1, right? Okay. Now you see it bigger. Okay. So the first one is called tamaha, to be unaware of one's original identity as an eternal servant of God. So this is actually our first ignorance, is to forget that we are eternal servants of God. This is actually the main problem. This is actually the root of all problems. Once we solve this one, then automatically all the other smaller problems, they will disappear. Because everything is based on the concept that my existence depends on the existence of God, and it is related to that because God created me with an intention, with a purpose. So to find out what is that purpose, that is the real meaning of life. I used to say that the question is not what I want to do with my life, but what God wants to do with me after gracing me with the with life, with my life. So what God wants from us, that's the question, not what I want to do with me, with my life. That's not in my hands. That's a false responsibility, it's a false expectation that people created, we created, It was imposed on us by our, um, you know, by the environment around us, by the influences we had. But so, therefore, to be unaware of one's original identity as eternal servant of God, this is the first type of ignorance. Hmm. Yeah. So now let us come back to the other one. Right? You can see now? Yeah.
Um,
Okay. So the second one, I think someone has the microphone open. Um, I think is okay. All right. So the second type of ignorance is called moha, the illusion of considering the material body as the true self. So because we have no access to our soul right now, the only reality in front of us is this body. So if you do not have a proper guidance, a proper uh, teaching about the soul, the nature of the soul, so you are bound to consider that you are this body. There is nothing beyond this body. This body is made out of gross body and subtle body. Gross body, five elements, and subtle body, intelligence, mind, and false ego. Mm. Then the next one, Mahamoha, madness triggered by the pursuit of material pleasures. So the more you suffer, the more you try to find relief in an enjoyment. And the more you try to enjoy, the more you will suffer. And then that leads to a madness, a state of madness. Hmm? Because material pleasures will always give you, it is always sweet in the beginning, but very bitter at the end. Hmm? So you have to make a choice. You want bitter in the beginning and sweet at the end, or you want sweet in the beginning and bitter at the end. Hmm? So, and Sandra, what do you want? You want sweet in the beginning and bitter at the end, or bitter in the beginning and sweet at the end?
bitter in the beginning.
Oh, good. That's a good beginning. And Bernadette, what do you want?
Oh, yeah, for sure, not bitterness, but um, we before I can decide, I need more information, so I can't really choose right now.
Yes,
Say,
it will be better without any type of bitterness, right?
yeah, that would be nice.
Unfortunately, the nature of this material world is such that it does not allow us to avoid bitterness. So
Mm,
if we have to choose, then it is better to end up sweet, than
yeah,
to end up bitter, right? Because if future is inevitable and we are going to face future, so better to face uh, forever sweet, right?
sure.
Uh, yes. So this is how spiritual life goes. Spiritual life, spiritual practice is bitter in the beginning and sweet at the end. But material life, material enjoyment is very sweet in the beginning, but bitter at the end. This is the law of nature. There is nothing we can do about it. Nothing. God created this world like this. And then uh, some people uh, even complain or criticize God by saying, why did He create such type of dynamic or law in this material world that it only gives us suffering? Yes, because if everything would be fine, you would never search for Him. You would never look for God if this material world was perfect. You would be completely engrossed in this material enjoyment, in sense gratification, and no time for God. So people actually mostly, not everyone, but most of the people, they start uh, searching for God when they fail in their lives, when life becomes so bitter, and there is nothing that can change that. Even when they try to enjoy as before, no sweetness will come. It's like a drug that addicts yourself and stop giving that first effect, that first um, uh, so-called bliss, and start to give you only depression and suffering, and then you want to use more and more and more, and then you end up completely destroyed. So material world somehow, to some extent, works in the same way, right? So, and this is actually good, because like these people will say, okay, I am tired of this material world, I know it's not going to be good, now let me search for something else. There must be some reality beyond this material world, there must be a purpose, there must be God behind, there must be something. Then they start searching for a spiritual life. So Krishna, he made everything, in the way that things should be. All right. So next one, Tamishra, loss of spiritual balance due to anger or envy. Yes, anger and envy are very detrimental to our spiritual life. Very. So this is one type of ignorance. Ignorance in general sense means that when you are unaware of the truth, how you should behave, how life should go, right? So even if you are in the path of spirituality, because here he says loss of spiritual balance. So actually, I forgot to mention, but all these concepts are in the book called Jaiva Dharma. These are like uh, the essence of the Vedic scriptures. So these are not like my concept or my structure. This is universal thing. Okay. So when we lose uh, our balance due to anger, what will happen? Automatically, your inner peace will be disturbed. And if your inner peace is disturbed, automatically all your senses get agitated. Because peace means when your senses are calm, when your senses are completely stunned, then comes peace. When there is no stimulus in the senses, when the senses are not searching for different objects for gratification, then there is peace. But this peace can be also temporary or can be also permanent, according to different levels of practitioner, right? And envy is such a selfish emotion that instead of appreciating the endeavors of others and how they are progressing, we would try to take them down just to make us feel that we are in the same level. Because if we cannot go up, so let us try to push them down. Some people are susceptible to enviousness energy, and they actually uh, uh, really come down from their position because of the influence of envious people. It happens many times. It happens. Some people are like not strong enough, and they easily get influenced, and they uh, limit themselves, they censor themselves not to expand, not to grow, because he does not want to make the other feel bad. So somehow this person is very, very pious, but that's not what should be done. Because your spiritual advancement cannot be checked by anything, should not be. checked by anything, right? So, and ultimately, what is the root cause of all envy? What is that? To envy God's position. And that is when people decided to say, no, there can be no only one supreme person. I am also supreme. I am also the same like that person. So this is envy. This is envy to God. Hmm? So this is the root cause of the so-called, Mayavadi philosophy, Advaita Vedanta, and so many other groups that claim that they are God, that claim that they are the whole, the absolute, uh, Brahman, whatever, like this. So once we realize we are the servants of God, our true value manifests. Our true value can be actually, uh, what to say, experienced by ourselves. And then self-esteem develops. Because when you find your true self, even though you are a servant, you don't feel that this is actually an inferior position. Because to be the servant of God is actually a very high position. It's not like being the servant of any mundane personality, of someone who is cruel, someone who is like, enslaving others. No, to be the servant of God is actually a very high position. To accept, to acknowledge that it deserves, it demands a lot of spiritual advancement. Okay? So, but before I go to the number 5, I want to see what happened. Everyone disappeared from my screen. I see only now Bernadette. What happened? What's going on behind the scenes?
I think everyone is here still, so I see them.
No, but the
Yep.
camera is not open. That's why.
My camera is open.
No, now is open.
It was open before too. I could also see Sandra. I think just you.
No.
I'm still here.
For me, now I see. Now Sandra opened and now you opened. Okay. Now before was closed. Anyway, maybe something on my screen. No problem. So now the number 5, Andatta Mishra. To consider that as the end of everything means those who are completely unaware of eternity and also of God's abode, God's transcendental abode. So if there is life after that, means there is someone waiting for us. That is, and in the scriptures it said that when you enter in the spiritual world, Krishna welcomes you with a very warm embrace. He embraces you. And then he says, I was missing you for so long. So finally you came. This is the best reception we can have, right? So that is not the end of everything. That is just changing clothes. Just like you change one cloth for another cloth, when it becomes old, you get a new one. So the soul is also changing the body. The body is like the soul's garment. So after this body becomes old, the soul needs another body, and then it's going to change. But the thing is, we should not be born again and again, unlimitedly. We should actually stop the cycle of birth and death. We should not be here. We're not supposed to be here. We are here because we are under ignorance since many, many lifetimes. So at some point, we need to completely dedicate our lives to stop taking birth again. That should be our goal. And not taking birth again in this world means to enter in the spiritual world, enter in Goloka Vrindavan. Okay? So this is the end of our presentation today.